Hey guys, how you doing? What sort of financial moves have you made in your life that have made a big impact? I want to talk about that. I think that telling our financial stories to other people can help them make decisions in their lives that can help them. So I want to go over my 3 biggest moves financially that I made that made a huge impact on my wealth. So to start with number 1, I paid myself first in my 20s, okay? From the age of 21 to about the age of 34, I think, I had accumulated around $70,000 in my 401k. And this had been over a period between 3 companies that I had worked for. And the whole time I was at those companies, I had saved 6% from all my paychecks. That's right, just 6%. Over that time period, from the age of 21 to about 34, I had my salary ranged starting from $30,000 a year all the way up to $70,000 a year. So that was a good chunk of moves in between there. 3 jobs, right? I had moved up, gotten my annual salary increases, and I just kept my 401k at 6%. Now, when I left my second company, Pfizer, I had rolled over that money into an IRA, right? I didn't know what I was doing, to be honest, right? But I knew I didn't want to take it out. I didn't want to get penalized or taxed. So I had rolled that money into my IRA. It was first time doing that. And then the job I had after that at a software company called Manatron, I worked there for 4 years, built up a small 401k, and when I left there, I rolled that money into that same IRA, all right? Now, this whole time, that money is accumulating and growing with, the market, right? So that was my first move, was saving $70,000, and it was growing that time. My first move was saving $70,000 into my IRA, okay? Now, that third job that I left, I think I had around maybe $20,000. It wasn't very much as far as, it was only 4 years worth. When I rolled that into my IRA, I had to decide to invest it, right? I think I had split a couple $1,000s into some various stocks that I currently owned. I just added to those positions. Now, here comes my second move. I had decided to take a big chunk of that 401k that I rolled over, and I bought, I think, around $13,000 all in on Google stock, all right? At that time, Google was not Alphabet, but I knew about the company. I knew that it had great management. I knew that they were the leader in search. And I knew that it was a growing company, right? I think they had just maybe bought YouTube, and I mean YouTube was just in its infancy right then, right? So I knew it was going to grow. So I bought all in one purchase. I bought 20 shares of that company, all right? And I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know anything about the market cap. I knew that it had IPO'd for $100 a share, Google did. And I bought it at $666, years after it IPO'd. I should have bought it then, right? Shoulda, woulda, coulda. But anyways, so I bought that, and I watched it grow. I watched the stock split when they turned into Alphabet. So I had 20 shares, and now I had 40 shares. I was like, that's cool, right? Didn't even know that stock splits don't even increase the valuation or anything. It's just it's an interesting way of adjusting how the stock is looked at in the market, right? So anyway, so I had 40 shares now, and I bought it at $666, and it had gone up to $1,200, around there. And I had been watching the stock here and there, and it hadn't really been doing much, and just been like flat for like a few years there, maybe a little bit of uptrend. So I decided, I don't really know much about Google. I didn't invest much time in it. I had made a 4x on my money, 4 times It was around 13,000. So I had around $40,000 worth of this stock. So I decided I'm going to sell out. You know, I haven't done much research on Google, so I'm selling out. And I had just put that money into a cash position, right? It's not cash I could take out of my IRA. You can't take that out, but it goes into a cash position if you don't know that. So a couple months later, I had started to look into Robinhood, and that gets me to my third move. I had started to do a little bit of trading on Robinhood because the commission was free, right? When I bought Google, the commission wasn't free. So it's not like I was interested in trading a bunch because it costed money to buy these positions, right? But now Robinhood had come out, right? So the barrier to entry into the stock market was lowered, all right? I think my first stock I traded was JCPenney. It was like a penny stock. I just wanted to trade it to see how the mechanics worked, right? I didn't even know what a bid or ask was in the stock market, okay? So I had been playing around with Robinhood a little bit, doing a little bit of day trading, having fun with it. And guess what I did? I started going on YouTube and finding a couple of YouTubers out there. And one of them I found was a guy named Jeremy Lefebvre, all right? His channel is called Financial Education. And he wasn't into day trading. He was about investing, okay? And I had gotten into his channel. He had a great channel. He had this whiteboard behind him. He'd talk about stocks, writing on the whiteboard, talking about valuation. And I had never even heard about this. Valuation, what's this? What's market cap, right? I've been learning all this stuff. YouTube University, right? I talked about this in a previous video. It's wisdom, okay? It's out there. Go find it, right? So again, I'm still getting into my third big move, okay? So this guy, Jeremy, he's talking about stocks, right? And I'm like, hey, what do I want to buy, right? I got all this money from this Google sale, right? I got $40,000 sitting in cash, right? So I decide to take 20 of it and diversify it. I had put it into existing stocks I had. I had Apple and a couple other mutual funds, but I had 20,000 left. So I'm like trying to figure out what do I want to do with this? And Jeremy Lefebvre, he starts talking about this company called Tesla. And I had known about Tesla. I had known about Elon Musk. I had known about EVs and all that. And I've always wanted an EV myself. I still don't have one. But I knew that it was the new thing. It was the next biggest thing that, you had cell phones to start. You had Google search and all that. That was a big thing back in the, 10, 15 years ago. But I knew EVs was going to be the next thing. And Jeremy just kind of sold me over the top, like, hey, maybe I should put my money behind what my beliefs were, okay? So I decide, I'm like, I'm going to buy Tesla. This guy, Jeremy's talking about it. I think he knows what he's talking about. It sounded good. He gave me the valuation, trajectory. And so one day in 2019, I took my 20 grand and I bought all 80 Tesla shares on one transaction, 20 grand, stick it in there. Because I was like, I'm in it for the long run. I had held Google for a couple years and I'm like, I'll hold Tesla for 5, 10, 20 years. Why not? We'll see what happens. Oh, well, guess what happened? The thing 20x'd on me, all right? 20x'd on 20 grand. Do the math on that, all right? It's about $400,000. That's what the stock market can do for you, okay? Now, I'm not saying that, that money's mine. It's not, I'd have to sell out of that position, all right? So it's not a guarantee. That money could drop any day, right? However, that's my fourth move. And I'm going to talk about that in the future video. My fourth move is going to be holding that stock. And I could do probably a super long video on that fourth move, and I think I will. But that's my fourth move, is holding that stock, and there's a reason for it. And we'll talk about that. So anyways, those are my three big moves. I mean, they're not spectacular. They're not super exciting, to be honest. They're just kind of like, hey, step one, pay yourself first in your 20s or 30s, save your money, and now you have the optionality to buy some stocks, to 10x your money, 20x your money, whatever. I mean, that's a lucky, my third move, in my opinion, that was a lucky play. I didn't even know what I was doing in the market. I knew a little bit, you know, I had been in the stock market for a while. I knew how to buy stocks, right, and sell them. But I got a little lucky. And to be honest, that luck would have never happened for me if I wouldn't have paid myself first in my 20s. So in my opinion, my first move was my most important, period. The second move, it was interesting. Bought some Google, sold it for a couple of, you know, a nice little multi-bagger. They call them multi-baggers when you double, triple, quadruple your investment, right? But then that Tesla move, you know, it's a life changer. And sometimes you get lucky. I got lucky, right? It wasn't skill involved. A little bit of thought, right? A little bit of research. So there's a little bit of skill, but there's a lot of luck there. Now, am I looking for new stocks? Oh yeah, dude, for sure. Like, I'm not stopping at Tesla. It's not my last move. You know, I got another move. I got some Palantir shares. That's another nice move, I think. Will that be a 20xer? I don't know. You know, probably maybe a 10xer over 10 years. Who knows? But I mean, these are just a couple moves in my life. These are my big 3 financial moves I made. I obviously have other career moves that I made, but anyways, let me know what you think. You know, what are your financial moves that you made? There's so many moves that are made out there. It's crazy, you know. Maybe it's an investment on a property. Maybe it's like you bought an apartment complex and you've got renters. Who knows, right? There's so many moves that are made out there. Mine's just one story. What's your story? Let me know what you think. So anyways, I just wanted to tell you guys my story, and it's another beautiful blue sky day in Michigan. A little cold, a little brisk, but I had to come out and talk about it. If you guys could, take a look at my previous video, and yeah, everyone, have a great day. Thanks for coming.